All right, hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So what I'm trying to do right now is to make cauliflower, what we call swallow or fufu. So just think of it, if you're new to that concept, just think of it like you're trying to make mashed potatoes, but you're using cauliflower. So usually for some of the dishes that we do in Africa, we usually have fufu with stews to eat, and sometimes the fufu can be made of what we call high carbs. Like it can be made of yams, it can be made of plantains, it can be made of cassava. So we try to use alternatives, especially if you're concerned about the high carb content, to eat with the stews. So in this scenario, I am trying to kind of make an alternative to the high carb content by using cauliflower. So this is your typical cauliflower head that you get from the store. I already cut most of the leaves off and I've already rinsed it. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to kind of like break off the heads of each cauliflower, and I am going to steam mine first. So I have a pot here. It has water at the bottom, just a little bit, and then you have a container for steaming, and then I just put my cauliflower in there. So I'm gonna put it right here. Hopefully you guys can see. Then I just break off the cauliflower. You can break it off into smaller pieces if you wanted, because I still have to blend it anyways. So I'm just gonna put it in the steamer first to steam it to make it soft before I blend it. So this is kind of like how I do mine, to kind of make it softer to blend. I mean, not that you can't blend it this way. You can probably blend it hard, but if you blend it hard, you have to add water, and you don't want to add too much water into your cauliflower when you're blending. So hold on, I need to make this a bit smaller so it can enter. Yeah, I should probably get a bigger steamer, but I think this will be okay for now. So just break it up into smaller pieces, just add water, and then I am going to turn on the fire and steam it for till it gets soft. It's probably going to be what, I don't think it's going to be up to 10 minutes. That might be too much because I'm not trying to really cook it right now. Just steam it to make it soft. All right, I'll be back with the final look once it's steamed and I am about to blend. Thank you. Hi guys. Okay, so we are back, and as you can see, the cauliflower is fully it's steamed. It's been probably about 15 minutes. I had it on low medium heat, and as you can tell, it's kind of like soft but not too soft. So it took about 10-15 minutes low medium heat to get to this point. When you're doing this, don't forget to keep adding water into the steam pot, just so that the water doesn't dry out while you're waiting. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to take each cauliflower and just place it into my blender, depending on how much we have, because I don't want to blend. I want it to kind of blend and be smooth when it blends. So I have to make sure it's not too much in the blender at a time. Okay. All right. I think it's gonna be enough for now. It's not too much blended. Okay. Then I'm just gonna add like a splash, just a tiny splash of water. Actually, let me show you the splash that I'm talking about. So it's pretty much just a little bit of water, just because you don't really want, you want your blender to still blend as expected. So excuse the noise. I like that. Okay. Sometimes you have to make the cauliflower, you have to make sure it's very small. But I guess when I broke it off in the beginning, it was kind of like, the chunks were big. So I need to just make it a bit small. And let's blend again. So every now and then, you just kind of scoop it up a little bit and add, like I said, a small amount of water. Let me just put this up here. Because everyone's blender is completely different on how they blend. So just turning it off again. So I will keep blending. As you can see, you keep blending it till it gets mushy like this. Almost like you're doing mashed potato, but you're just using cauliflower to do that. I will be back to show the full final product, but you can see that it's blending. So I'll spare you all having to watch me. All right, guys. So I am back, and as you can see, the cauliflower is blended and all smooth and ready to go. So what I'm gonna do is put it on medium heat and just stir it occasionally, just to see if I can get it even much more thicker than what this is right now. Only because, as you can see, there's still, you know, what appears to be too much water, but not too much water, if that makes any sense. I mean, if you had blended it with water in the beginning, with a lot of water, you'd have had to have a draining cloth, pour it in and then drain it and then make it. Then it would be a little bit thicker than what it is right now. But that's okay. Right now, I'm just gonna, like I said, this is how I make it. I'm just gonna let the heat go in. Just keep stirring it. Okay, so that you guys are not sitting through this, I may stop and then come back to show you guys what I do next. But I'm just gonna keep stirring till it's a little bit thicker than what it is right now. See? Okay. All right, everyone, so we are back. And this, I have been stirring this for like almost 10 minutes now. And as you can see, hopefully you can see it, it's a little bit thicker. You see that? Right? Compared to before. Like I said, this is probably where the drying, using the drying cloth to dry out before you start cooking will come in place. So to kind of thicken this a little bit and kind of speed up the process, to make it thicker, because I want it to have not just, this is like a mashed potato type feel. I want it to have a little bit more of a fufu like look. So I'm gonna add xylem husk. Let me make this on low heat. I don't want to burn this. Like I took my eye off this for 1 second and I kind of like almost burnt it. So I'm using xylem husk. I am not endorsing this this brand or anything along those lines. I'm just, this is what I'm using. And please obviously check with your doctor, your dietitian before you try any new product, because not every product goes well with an individual. So you have to be very, very careful with what you put into your body, and make sure you're checking with the professionals before you do so. So like I said, I'm gonna add the salad musk into this. This is what it looks like, right? But I'm not adding all this. I'm just gonna add a little bit at a time to get it a little bit, you know, thicker. Make it thick. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure you can all see inside. Okay. Just to make it a little bit thick. Thick. See, as you can see, it's getting a little bit more thicker than before. I mean, I could have probably added salad musk earlier, but I was just trying to check out to see if it's possible to get this as thick as possible, the cauliflower as thick as possible, before I say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add the salad musk. So just as you can see, it's now even more thick. So it's looking a little bit more like the swallow that we eat. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. So please, like I said, don't forget to check with your dietitian before, or your nutrition expert or your doctor, before you try any new product, okay? We always want to make sure that we're putting healthy things into our body, and things that work for our body, things that are easy for our body to process, things that we're not allergic to. So it's always a good idea to check with your professional before you go ahead and try anything new. So I'm definitely gonna so this is part of my meal prep. I'm gonna actually have this with an okra ogbono soup. That's my plan. So I will show a photo of what it looks like at the end of this video of the meal prep that I'm doing. So this cauliflower swallow, or cauliflower fufu as we call it, is part of my meal prep for the week. So I already made okra ogbono soup. So this is just what I'm going to eat it with, instead of the pounded yam or the eba. Only because I personally have to watch my carb intake. I can't just be eating too much carbs. It's just not, you know, for medical reasons. So I have to be very careful. Alrighty, so I will, it's getting there, right? Isn't it getting there? Getting thicker and thicker, as you can see. I will, it's probably, you probably could stop right here if you wanted to. See? You could probably stop right here if you wanted to. But I'm just going to keep stirring for a little bit. Ignore this burnt. I took my eye off the pot for a second. And then boom, we have this. Alrighty. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video on how I go about making this. I'm going to just keep stirring for a little bit and probably add a little bit more salad musk. Alright, thank you. Okay, so this is a finished product. So for the cauliflower swallow, as part of my meal prep, what I've done is, this is the cauliflower that I made earlier that you saw in the video. And I have portioned it into this bowl. And right here you have the okra ogbono soup with a little bit of chicken. And you have frozen blackberries. No, not blackberries, blueberries. You have frozen blueberries right here to eat it with. So you have the option of, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and probably freeze this meal to be eaten later on. But you can definitely freeze blueberries, as you can see. And this is one way that you can eat your meal. But this is the way that I'm planning on doing mine. Then also another way, not another way, but another way in which I am trying to eat this meal is, you still have the same cauliflower swallow that we made earlier. You have the okra ogbono soup, but this time around I have just a little bit of blueberries and strawberries. So the strawberries were already frozen. So it'll be easy to just go ahead and freeze this. So I hope you guys truly enjoyed making your cauliflower swallow, and you can definitely eat it with ogbono soup, okra soup, regular pepper and tomato stew, or you can eat it with egusi soup, spinach soup, all kinds of soup, but at the same time while reducing the carb content. Thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel if you're not already doing so.